here showing us a new way to express and display our patriotism with some vintage-looking Americana decor. Now, Ken, I really love this DIY because so many of us want to express our love for America around 4th of July and put a flag in the front yard or, you know, do something patriotic. But what if you don't have a front yard? What if you live in an apartment or a condo? This is a great
Or
way.
when my father was very specific, when you hang a flag, you have to have a light on it. If you have to take it at night.
It's a big deal. So
Dad's always upset when he sees flags out that people aren't properly. So this is a good alternative, and John and my dad will not get mad at you.
Exactly. You won't have a veteran driving by saying you're hanging wrong.
It's a super easy project. You can do this afternoon. You can have it up in time for the 4th. Very, very easy. So we're going to do it real time here so you can see just how easy it is.
Okay, so what do we do?
So what we have is just a piece of 1x6. You can get this pre-cut at the hardware store. Call ahead, have them cut it, pick it up. I did it in a couple sizes. This is the largest. What you then going to want to do at home is go ahead and get your point on there. What you do is just mark the center of your piece of wood, which will be 2 3/4. And then I find the easiest thing is just use it. This is called a speed square.
I had no idea this was called a speed square.
Line up one side, line up the other, and that's going to give you your angle. Let me so you can see it at home.
These were all over my garage growing up.
You're like, what are these triangular things? Boom, you've got it. Now, don't freak out at home if you are not if you're not comfortable cutting, because you can do it without the cut. Just keep it as a square tag. It'll be just as adorable and even faster to make.
Right.
So go ahead and cut that off. Now we're going to start with our our look on the paint. What we're going to do is we're going to dry brush it. We always talk about dry brushing, but you don't really see me do it much. So
is that how you made it look vintagey like this?
That's one. It's a several layered process, and that's the first one. So you have your paint on your brush, and what you want to do is really get off most of the paint. And then all you're going to do is just in really light strokes.
Well, that doesn't look like enough paint.
Across it. I'll do a little bit more.
Okay.
But the problem is you don't want to get too much, because then you're going to have a piece that is pretty solid and not the other.
And that's the opposite of what we want.
Exactly, because then you're going to have to sort of deal with like taking it off more. So boom, 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 get that on there, and you can't really go wrong
unless you put too much.
Unless you put too much, then you've got to start taking it off. So you've got that. You've got your sort of base coat on there. Now we're going to sort of get our hole in while this dries.
All right.
I've just got a 3/4-inch drill here. Debbie, do you want to
Okay, you know, let me put those goggles on first.
You know, nothing says drilling like a pink halter top.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. I love it.
So just right here.
To a whole new level.
Right here in the center, right there.
Right there?
Yep.
You're going to hold it for me? Just push down?
Yep.
Oh!
Boom.
Look at that. That was exciting. Okay, now I'm stuck, Ken.
There you go. We just pulled it right back out here. I got it for you.
There we go.
See,
Nice.
super easy. That's going to be your whole. So now we're going to do our stencil. So I encourage people when they get a stencil, find stencils that have more than one thing going on, because I made all of these using the.
We should probably take these off now.
I did all this using the same stencil. And a little tip, when you've got lots of letters and little pieces, get some spray glue and do a quick coat on the back of your stencil.
Smart.
Press that down.
So it doesn't move.
Exactly. And as long as you paint and finish pretty quickly, it's not going to adhere. Now you want to do the same thing. Get most of the paint off your brush.
Now talk to me about that brush.
So you at home have seen me do this. This is a stippling brush. And what you want to do, these are made for actual stenciling, and you want to always go straight up and down.
And why would we use this versus another type of brush?
It's going to give you more coverage, and if you use a regular brush and then just paint on it, what you're going to do is you're going to force color up underneath your stencil.
Gonna bleed.
And then that's when you get the bleeding. This, and just go straight up and down. And don't worry about getting it completely covered, because you do want it to stay a little bit sort of open. And then you want to make sure you pull off that pretty quickly, because you don't want that glue that you put on there to stick.
But that's very cool, Ken. Look at this.
There we go. Pull it all
right up.
That
is cool.
There we go.
I'm gonna peel some
of
those
my little pieces that's stuck here.
Oh, I'm gonna let you do that.
Let me do that because you're gonna mess up your nails.
There goes my manicure.
Okay.
But you're right. You have to work fast.
There you go.
Okay,
Boom.
look at that.
And then all we're gonna do is do the exact same
with
thing
the red.
with
Where are we
the
gonna
red.
put the stars? Underneath?
We're gonna put them right down here.
Okay.
Right down here on the bottom. Again, you want to pounce. You want to pounce straight up and down.
Oh, and you're also doing that.
And by using the different color and doing the line, you can really get a lot of space out of one stencil. Then all you're going to do, get a little piece of rope. We're going to pass that through.
And I love that you're using this sort of nautical rope.
Well, you could use anything. I like the white because I think it gives it a sort of Savannah beachside. But if you wanted
Sure.
something a little more rustic, if you're going with a barn, you could do just plain old jute.
And if you wanted to make the letters look even more vintagey?
Well, what you would do is once this is all done, and you see it, I'm going to touch up some of that blue there, is go through with some sandpaper.
All right.
I'm using a 60 grit here, and you really just want to get
So
the
60
edges.
grit is important.
60 grit because it's going to be rougher. Anything less than that, you're not really going to see it. You would, if you were doing a real finished project, you wouldn't want anything this heavy, but with this, you want it heavy so you can really make it look old and rustic. And don't be afraid to like hit some of the painted area.
It makes it look cooler.
Exactly.
And I love you did the other two.
Using the exact same stencil, just turned it a different way, different bait. So really just 3 paints, which I'm sure you have red, blue, and white at home, and a little bit of stencil.
And this, by the way, just doesn't have to be on a front door or a mailbox, wherever. You can put this inside. This is really beautiful.
And it's great because of the shape of them, you can fit it to a lot of odd places, like in between doors, that little skinny wall that you can never find anything.
Exactly.
And seriously, we did that real time. So at home, go out, you can do it, you can have it up by tomorrow and be the most patriotic house on the block.
That's right. You don't have this, you can use any sort of...
Use anything.
Anything you have.
Anything.
Well done,
Boom.
Ken. Fabulous
Land of the
and
free.
frugal once again. You can find full instructions for this DIY at hallmarkchannel.com.